Sir Cliff, how are you feeling about the judgment?
It's going to take a little while for me to get over the whole emotional factor, and so I hope you'll forgive me.
In tears, he had told the court his life was forever tainted. Now he was vindicated.
Sir Cliff is, of course, very pleased with the court's judgment today. He never expected after 60 years in the public eye that his privacy and reputation would be tarnished in this way and that he would need to fight such a battle.
The singer was awarded £210,000 but is likely to get more. The BBC is also facing millions in legal costs.
I love my fans, I always have.
This is a massive judgment for Sir Cliff Richard and pretty devastating for the BBC, and it raises questions for the entire media about how they cover police investigations. His friends saw the physical and mental toll over the last 4 years.
He was determined to fight this case, and in a way, even if he hadn't won the case, I think he's won it as far as the public is concerned. Because personally, I've never heard so many people saying, I hope he wins this case, and it was terrible, that invasion of privacy, and he's won it on privacy law.
The decisions made in the BBC newsroom to report the police investigation into Sir Cliff Richard in 2014 and to use a helicopter to film it significantly invaded his privacy, said the judge. It was a scathing judgment. The judge said the reporting was breathless sensationalism and using the helicopter created false drama. He said the then UK news editor Gary Smith was not always a reliable witness, and he decided the BBC went in for an invasion of Sir Cliff's privacy rights in a big way. BBC editors Fran Unsworth and Jonathan Munro were grim-faced hearing the heavy criticism, but claim this is a dramatic move against press freedom, the judge accepting it could have a significant impact on the media.
The BBC is very sorry for the distress caused to Sir Cliff. We understand the very serious impact this has had on him.
She says the judgment will affect every media organisation.
The judge has made clear that even if there'd been no footage of the search and the story had less prominence, the very naming of Sir Cliff would have been unlawful. This creates a significant shift against press freedom.
Ms Unsworth, have you or Mr Munro offered your resignations over this matter, and should you?
It's a very long judgment. We need to go away and absorb all the details. There are 200 pages there. We need to look at it and consider what lessons there are to learn out of it.
What do you say to licence fee payers that they are going to face this big damages fee? Mr Munro, are you considering your position? The BBC says it's thinking about an appeal, and at its headquarters there was a robust defence of its journalism.
Do you not think licence fee payers will find it astounding that you have lost this case, that it is going to cost potentially millions of pounds, and nobody at the BBC is being held responsible?
The question is not whether anybody's responsible, everybody's responsible. The question is whether that responsibility results in what you suggested might happen, which is that people should resign and so on and so forth. And that's not necessarily the right response to every mistake that every journalist makes in a news organisation.
Sir Cliff had told the court everything he'd worked for was torn apart by the BBC's reports.
I was never even arrested, let alone charged, and I've had to suffer all of this financially and, but more importantly, emotionally. For what? For absolutely doing zero. I never did what they said, they claimed. And if heads roll, then maybe it's because it's deserved.
Outside court there was, of course, only one song Sir Cliff's fans could sing. But his victory means the most difficult of days for the BBC and potential challenges now for all journalists. Lucy Manning, BBC News.